was personally written and signed, and I think this is the full card if I'm not mistaken. And then the box is amazing. You know, the last couple of reviews I've done have been those really cheap tuck boxes, and this one is a very sturdy box with a magnetic closure, which I love those kind of boxes. It says, "And into the gray we follow like 1,000 flickering stars, and there in a sunlit hollow we lose and find what is ours. Dear light and shadow seer, may this deck help you to find what is yours. XO Chrysan." So it came with this book, which is really thick, and it's not your average tarot deck book. It's got prompts in it, it's got tarot activities for you to do, it has just so many different things. It's got every card in here, what the key concepts are, and what I really love is that it has the light and shadow meanings for each card. So you can go with your traditional tarot meanings, or you can actually use kind of a different perspective on it with Chrysan's different meanings for her cards. But it's just such a beautiful wealth of information in here. You could tell she didn't cut any corners, and you could tell she put a lot of time and effort into this. It wasn't like she just slapped this book together. There's also a PDF that you can download to go with this. It's like an actual workbook kind of a thing. But it has so much in here. So this is really one of those books that you're going to refer to and read, as opposed to so many of the books that do come with tarot decks. If you get a book that you just kind of put to the side and you never look at it again. Now, the cards have this amazing edging on it. Sorry about the noise outside. Just look at how it shines. Like there's absolutely no filter on this. These are just so bright and saturated with color. And that's another thing that I love about the art on this deck, is that they are so saturated with color. I mean, I love the actual artwork, but the colors are just so amazing. So I'm probably going to go through this a little bit more slowly than I usually do, just because I'm totally in love with it, and I want you to be in love with it too. Oh, but I was talking about the Hay House deck. So there is a pre-order for the Hay House deck, which I don't think it comes with this book. If it comes with a book, it's not like a big book like this one is. And I think the cards are smaller. You know, these cards are about a standard size card. They're really nice thick cardstock, and they're matte, which I love. I cannot stand glossy cards, just because, you know, matte shuffles so much better and it photographs so much better. You don't get that reflection. But you can order the Hay House version if you missed out on this on Barnes & Noble, and there's a couple of other websites, and I think I've seen it vary in price anywhere from $16 to $24, which is such a steal. I actually went and ordered, or pre-ordered, a Hay House version as well, just because I love it so much. But look at how thick the cardstock is. I think you can probably see this on camera. It's not flimsy, it's really thick, and I think it's going to be very sturdy. This is also a really diverse deck, which a lot of people love, because a lot of the tarot decks that are out there don't have much diversity, if any. And I just think that this deck has such a, for lack of a better term, it's just got such a positive vibe about it. And while I think she generally took the traditional aspects of the tarot cards, she really put her own spin on it, which I just love. That's a beautiful devil. This is a really beautiful tower card too. You could just tell that the artist took such care with each card, and she really made it so detailed. The Sun card's my favorite card, like in general, and I think she did a great job with this one. So I realized a little bit too late that I cut off the beginning of this whole recording where I'm talking about how the box was received and how much it cost and everything. So I'm just going to do a voiceover here as I flip through the rest of the cards. I think that this is probably the best bang for the buck that you could get for a tarot deck, at least for me, for any of the decks that I've ever bought. It was $55, and as you've seen with the great quality of the box that it came in, the huge detailed book that came with it, there was absolutely no expense spared on the cards themselves with the edging and the thickness of the cards and the matte finish. It was all just like so top of the line, I think. I don't think that I could have asked for anything better for this. But it did arrive in a box, and it was totally perfectly intact. I put pictures at the very beginning of this video of what it looked like when I first opened the box. And it had a signed print of the full card, and it had the box wrapped in tissue paper, which was a really nice extra touch. So everything was very well protected, and nothing got smashed up in shipping. And even the box itself was numbered. I can't remember. I don't have the box sitting in front of me right now, but it was like number 421 of however many, if it was like 1,250 decks or something like that. But yeah, everything was just such great care taken with it, and I feel like there were no corners cut at all in this project. The shipping was kind of outrageous because it came from Canada, but I was totally happy to pay, I think it was like $21. or $22, something like that. But then earlier in the video I had to cut out part where I was talking about there's a Hay House version that you could pre-order now that's supposed to be coming out in December, and you can order that online at barnesandnoble.com, and there are a couple of other places. I've seen that price range anywhere from, I think, $16 to $24. But I'm so glad that I got this Kickstarter version, which is, I guess you would call the deluxe version, because the Hay House version is going to be, for lack of a better phrase, a more stripped down version of this deck. I think it's still going to have the same beautiful art, but it won't have all the bells and whistles, and it won't have, I know that it won't have the same book, because she's already said that it won't have the same book. But if you missed out on the Kickstarter, it's really great that they're having an opportunity to buy for what I think is a really great price. I went ahead and bought my extra deck from Hay House, so that God forbid anything happens to this one, I'll have a backup copy. And I think the cards might be smaller for the Hay House version. I've heard some rumors here and there, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see, because Hay House has been very tight-lipped about what their version is going to be like. But I guess in summary, all I could say is that I just am so impressed with this deck as a whole and everything that was associated with it. The art and everything. So, I can't think of any other deck that I have that I could really say, yeah, this deck is not missing anything. Like, it's either missing a great box, or maybe it didn't have the edging or the card quality itself, or maybe it didn't have a great book that came with it. It always seems like there's something that makes it not be the perfect deck. So for me, this is the perfect deck. Plus, I just love the art so much. It really spoke to me, and I feel like it's going to be, I've been calling it my soulmate tarot deck, because that's what I really feel like it is. So, I think that's all I have to say about this deck. If you can get your hands on it, I think she has sold all of the Kickstarter decks, but there are a few that are currently being given away. If you do a search on Instagram, the artist's name is at Pixie Curio, and I'll put it in the description box below, and you can find which giveaways she's participating in, and maybe you can grab one of these. Sorry if you hear my animals in the background, but I'm going to be quiet for the rest of the video, so you could just watch the rest of the flip through, and thank you for watching.